I would say just don't rush your voice.
Ooh, I like
Your voice, it comes from experiences and your truth and your growth. It just you write this down, you write honesty. It's just don't rush your voice, even when it feels uncomfortable, like in certain situations. So
yeah.
that's what I would tell them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. When if you think about right when a baby took their first steps, how uncomfortable that was for them. But if they just stop walking, we would be holding them forever. So
Yes,
don't rush it. Go at your own pace. And I think not comparing your voice to other people's voice either. Right. God gave
that's
you your
right.
specific voice for a reason. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Authors Impact Hub podcast. I am your host, Juanita Woodson, and of course, we are bringing you some real stories with real authors to remind you that your words, right, your story definitely does matter and creates an impact. So today, I am joined by Miss Victoria Richardson. So super excited to learn a little bit more about your author journey and all that you bring for authors nationwide, right? So, of course, I always get the authors to share just a little bit about themselves. So, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Okay. Well, I'm Victoria Richardson. I was born and raised in Jackson, Alabama. I've been writing since I was just a little girl, 8 years old, finding my voice, doing journaling and everything. And I just want to inspire people to write. I just want to inspire authors to be seen and heard. I just, I love that type of things. So
Absolutely. Yes. And what's the title of the book we're going to be talking about?
my book is titled Dark Honey, and it's a poetry book. It's part of my poetry collection that I have.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to learn a little bit more about that book. So before we get into our Q&A, I'm just going to open this up with an icebreaker. So if you can describe your author journey in one word, what would it be and why?
Let's see. One journey. I mean, I would say, ooh, it has been inspirational, actually. Yes.
Okay.
Um, I have been inspiring people and they have been inspiring me. And that is the one word I would strive for my
Yeah,
author journey. Yes.
absolutely. I love that. So share a little bit more about your author journey then as an author, a poet, and an entrepreneur.
Well, it has been a long one. I've been writing for a long time. I just got into publishing stuff, so it has been quite a journey. I've been to talent shows where I recite my poetry. I've been to book events, book signings. So it has been a long journey. Um, I enjoy what I do. I don't know. It's been so long. It's so much to say, really. I just
Yeah.
can't remember it all. But I just enjoy storytelling and bringing people together with stories. So
Yeah. Absolutely. I love
yes,
that. So tell us a little bit about your book, Dark Honey. So what inspired, first of all, the title, right? What
yes.
inspired you to write the book?
I got the title from a real life experience. I was dealing with a while back, and even though I was going through something that was not the greatest, I actually seen the light in it and seen the sweetness in it. So it was inspired by real life experiences. Writing was a form of my processing emotions. So I would keep a journal. I would write about healing and reflections, and I just wanted the book to represent that, like it's sweetness in pain. So
Yeah.
yes,
Absolutely, definitely. There's nothing that's wasted in our life, right? And I'm the
yes,
same. Like I've been writing since I was a little girl, journaling, all the things. So our journeys are similar in that way. So I know that you are a poet, right? And your
yes.
poetry speaks to healing and transformation. So what does that journey look like for you personally?
I've just been transformed into, I don't know, it's just been a real journey just to see how far I have come, and to look back, it's just amazing. It's amazing to me. And I'm so glad I started.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
absolutely.
am.
Like you're not just right using your author journey and your writing to benefit yourself. You are now pouring back into other authors through your
Yes,
platform, the Authors Network, and then you mentioned that
yes,
you do publishing too. So how do
yes,
you
I do.
balance creativity while leading those platforms?
I have learned that it's a lot, but I have learned that balancing is, it's always an equal. It's always an equal to that. It's knowing what's needed in the moment, really. And some days I'm fully into creating what I'm doing, and other times I'm writing and pouring into well, I am writing and pouring into my work, and other days I'm building and helping others and helping, authors being seen and stuff like that. So
Listen,
yes,
I
it's a
know
lot.
all about that. And just trying to find that balance, right? 'Cause it can
Yes,
seem like some days you feel yourself like just pouring, pouring, pouring into like everything and everyone else that you
yes,
forget to stop, take a step back, and make sure that you're refilling your own cup, right?
that's right.
Because the people that you're supporting and helping, they need your cup to be full, right? So that you
That's
can
right.
serve them best. So tell us a little bit about the Authors Network.
I have created a network. I was inspired by this wonderful host of mine on here, Juanita. I said I love her platform so much. It inspired me to do this group and to meet these wonderful authors, and there's people that have joined. I just love that. And it gave me an opportunity to use my God-given talents. I enjoy everything about making graphics. I enjoy writing. I enjoy doing stuff with fonts and stuff. I just enjoy that, and posting things. I love it. So
Absolutely. That's your
yeah,
purpose is not just for you, right? If you follow me
that's
on
right.
social media, you hear me say that often. It is
Yes,
not just for you. So being able to use your gifts and your talents to pour into other people is awesome. And I know you do a couple special things, right? You do your
yes,
featured author Friday, and correct me if I'm wrong. You do
that's right.
something on Sundays too, right?
I do a Sunday spotlight, and I also do a feature Friday spotlight as well. Yes,
Yes, absolutely. So listen, if you are an author and you are tuned in, you want to make sure you connect with Miss Victoria so that you can get your spotlight. So visibility is so
yes,
important to authors. So when you find yourself connected to authors and to visionaries who can help you spread the word about your work, you want to make sure you connect, you plug in. But I want to just say that you don't just take up space in those spaces. You actually apply the resources that are being poured out, because I know myself and probably you, there's so much time that goes into creating these resources. So don't just take up space. Listen, like apply what Victoria
yes.
is providing, right? So I think that's so important. So what's maybe been one of the hardest parts of your author entrepreneur journey, and how have you overcome that challenge?
Oh my goodness. It has actually been, just, well, one of them is talking to people. I know that's one for me. I have as many events I've been to. It's just getting yourself out there and talking to people. Sometimes is the hardest part, but by just going out in public and putting yourself in places that you may feel uncomfortable putting yourself at. I have learned that I can actually do this. I can talk to people. I have been to these places. I recently went to it was an art exhibit, but I have got a client from there, just from being in an art exhibit, just talking about what I do. And they was like, really? And they're like, yes. They were like, I'm an artist though. But I said, you are still part of what I can help you with. So it has been a journey, and yes.
I love that. And I think one thing but that I've learned, right? Because I shy back a little bit too, right? When it's time for me to like the public speaking thing, I still get very, very nervous, but it's just reminding myself that my voice matters and people need to hear what I have to say. And it's being okay with like coming from behind the screen because so many authors we hide behind the social media world and we need to get out in front of people more. And I love that you were able to go to an art exhibit and get a client, right? Not being afraid to share what you do and the work you do is so important.
Yes.
So, what advice would you give to writers who are still finding their voice and confidence?
Ooh. Um, I would say just don't rush your voice.
Ooh, I like that.
Um, your voice, it comes from experiences and your truth and your growth. It just you write this down, you write honesty. It's just don't rush your voice. And, even when it feels uncomfortable, like in certain situations. So
Yeah.
that's what I would tell them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. When if you think about, right, when a baby took their first steps, how uncomfortable that was for them. But if they just stop walking, we would be holding them forever. So
Yes.
don't rush it. Go at your own pace. And I think not comparing your voice to other people's voice either, right? God gave
That's
you your
right.
specific voice for a reason. So that does gonna lead me to that next question. How has faith influenced your writing and your path as a creative?
Oh my goodness, yes. Well, I growing up in Alabama, I grew up in a church-based family, and I am the daughter of an elder and everything. And going to church is everything. And my faith is what keeps me grounded,
Yeah,
and it helps guide me through whatever I'm going, creating or going through. So that has helped a lot.
absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
I'm a PK, so I know all
Ye-
about
Yes.
that. That is definitely my life and faith is definitely my foundation. It's
Yes.
to have something that can I don't even want to say that you can fall back on, but that can keep you upright. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I love that. So how can we connect with you, Miss Victoria, and all the amazing things that you're doing?
I'm on all social medias. I'm on Instagram at Living Victoriously. Um, I'm on Instagram at the writing. Do I can't talk? The Authors Network. I'm on Facebook. You can hit me up on Facebook at Victoria Richardson, and also on YouTube at Living Victoriously as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes. So make sure you connect with Miss Victoria on social media. So I always end the show with this one last question, and that is, what impact do you want your book and your work to leave on the world?
Let's see. I'm gonna say this first. I Sometimes I realize at a point I'm not just writing because people are looking at me constantly. I'm always, in the limelight. So I just want to say that I'm writing a story, but I am the story.
Come on.
I am the story. Yes. So I want my work to make people feel seen and understood, and just less alone. And if someone reads my book and feels like their emotions are valid, or that they can keep going, then I'm done what I'm supposed to do. I've done my job. So,
Absolutely.
so
Yes.
yes.
I love that. Yes. Well, keep showing up. You are the story, right? So that's
Yes.
why only you can tell your story, but somebody needs to hear it because I
Yes.
truly believe that everything that we've gone through, we're not supposed to just keep those things to ourselves. Our testimony can free so many people. So I appreciate you saying yes to sharing your story in the way that you do and building platforms for for other authors to show up and to spread the word about their work. I think that is so commendable and it is so necessary. So I wanted to just make sure I give you that shout out. So y'all make sure y'all go and
Thank
connect,
you so much.
right? Connect to this network, the Authors Network for sure. And then I always say, when you go and you purchase Victoria's book, make sure you go and leave a review. That is so important for authors, those reviews. And then, of course, when you listen to this episode, share your takeaway, share 1 or 2 takeaways from this episode. I love to see that you are engaged and listening in and really paying attention to all that's poured when I sit down with authors. So that's all we have for today. Thank you so much, Victoria, for connecting with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. It won't be the last time. Well, y'all,
No.
until next time, y'all take care and keep writing and sharing your story.